Dear participants, my name is Refik Akıncı. I would like to welcome you on behalf of IDFC Climate Facility. Thank you for joining this pitch. During the given time today, I would like to explain to you who we are and what we are trying to do. For that purpose, I'll be using a presentation of 8 slides, and afterwards there'll be a short time slot where you can raise your questions through a chat box. I will be happy of answering them to the best of my capacity. Right now, I would like to switch to my presentation, which you will see on top of the screen, hopefully. Do we have the presentation? Can we have the presentation on top, please? Thank you very much. I think everybody can see it. Okay. I hope you can see it on the screen. So I would like to start with the introduction of IDFC, as we are IDFC's climate facility. The International Development Finance Club was created in 2011. You can see the logos and the regions of origin of member institutions on the screen. Currently, it's a leading group of 26 national and regional development banks from all over the world, majority active in emerging markets. As of today, IDFC is the largest provider of development and climate finance globally. IDFC members have the unique function of supporting domestic policies while transferring international priorities into their own agenda. Members are aligned with and work together to implement the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Climate Agreement agendas. Through IDFC and in close partnership with other development bank networks, members can join forces as a platform to promote and leverage sustainable development investment worldwide. The club was founded almost a decade ago due to the solidarity need of its members at that time. As a DFI could best be understood by another DFI. Members enjoyed the benefit of exchanging views and working together in different working groups over the years. Today, members are facing different challenges. Therefore, their need for solidarity evolved to another stage, as global challenges could only be met by the means of cooperation. Climate change has always been on the top of IDFC members' agenda. So, as you can see, Climate Facility was founded with a simple objective, which is to strengthen the capacity of its members, namely the IDFC members, to originate and develop climate projects and facilitate collaborative work among members on climate change. And in that respect, we can describe Climate Facility as an operational tool at the IDFC. And it can be described as IDFC 2.0 because it's representing as a further step in IDFC. It aims reinforcing collaboration and sharing between members and growing the capacity of members to originate, structure, and deliver climate change projects to eventually grow their pipeline. In summary, the mandate of Climate Facility includes fostering knowledge sharing among members, collective learning, access to international finance, and identification of co-financing opportunities. So as you can see, our focus is knowledge sharing. Based on that, capacity building, support to project preparation, and facilitation of access to the Green Climate Fund. So what do we have in the facility? The coordination unit is hosted by IDFC chair, which is the Agence Française de Développement, AFD. And we have one from KfW as a secondment, one person from TSKB, which is me, one person from AFD, and one colleague from CAF. And we are 4 people, at least during the last 1 year, we have worked as 4 people in that facility altogether. We can name that the level of contributions are around 10 million euros. And with the support of external consultancy, we worked on a design. It's better, maybe I go a little bit more in detail here, because it's important to note that AFD, as the chair of the club, has facilitated a financial contribution of 5 million euros at the beginning and hired a consultancy firm which proposed the current structure of the climate facility. The study of the consultancy firm was quite extensive. It took 1 year as they contacted all member institutions and visited many of them in order to propose a workable structure. So what we are doing now is based on that structure, which is proposed. And it was an extensive work. And all the level of all in-kind and financial contributions are at the level of 10 million euros. That provided us the necessary first step to move forward. And one more word about the colleagues. Within the climate facility, we have an average experience of 25 plus years in development banking area and also climate. As I mentioned, there are 4 activity lines planned for a 4-year pilot period. We already have 1 year behind us. I'll explain it later, what we have done so far. But as I have indicated before, it's about knowledge sharing. What we mean about knowledge sharing is we are establishing an online knowledge library for the members. And we are organizing events and networking with the members and other stakeholders. And we are organizing an online marketplace, establishing an online marketplace where members can exchange projects. And the aim is to reach capacity building level. The aim of what we are doing in general is that. What we are trying to reach is that. Therefore, training, coaching programs, and a toolbox of IDFC is our target. And as a third pillar, support the project preparation is one of our targets. It's to identify IDFC collaborative projects, enhancing innovative and demonstrative operations, and the possibility of co-financing with GCF. And as a final pillar is the facilitation of access to the GCF. Our target here is support access to GCF accreditation, because among our members, we are 26, 14 are already accredited, but even you are accredited, life is not becoming easy because everything is evolving. Also, GCF is evolving. So this is a continuous activity, never-ending activity. There is always something to support and something to do more. And a final major topic is support of preparation of projects. So what has been done so far? As I mentioned before, almost a year ago, we kick-started, and we had an orientation at the host institution, which is AFD. AFD is hosting us, and we are treating like a department at AFD. We have access to everything other than the building and the office, to their system. So this is enabling us to reach information, and we are informed about every development thanks to that. And there are a great deal of colleagues working with us, in cooperation with us in that respect. Therefore, yes, we are 4 people at the facility, but we have the advantage of working with many colleagues directly in the same location, and also indirectly with distance with other IDFC member institutions, of course. because we are working closely with the climate working group of the club, which is co-chaired by AFD and CAF. And there are many people from respective member institutions who are the focal points of climate issues. And we are in close cooperation with them. We participated in COP25 last year. And then we started with the preparation of terms of reference for the consultancy firm. This consultancy firm is different than the one who worked at the beginning. This is the consultancy firm which is going to support us during our work in the upcoming years. And then we start the tender process for the selection of the consultancy firm. And we furthered our studies on operating manual, because operating manual is very important, as you can imagine, as it is a multi-party stakeholder operation. And as we do not have a legal entity, nor IDFC, which is a club of member DFIs, neither us, we do not have a legal entity. So operation manual is, from that point of view, very critical. And the preparation of the draft annual work program is undertaken with the help of an IDFC workshop. We had climate colleagues with the help of climate working group. We did it as a base. And then the design of the needs assessment study for the IDFC members. This is key, as it is the starting point of everything, because before starting everything, before proposing training or having exchanges, as you would also agree, it's important that there's a diagnosis first, that you see a picture where members are. Members have great accumulation of knowledge, but you cannot expect that all 26 members have an homogeneous level of experience at every level. In respect of climate, we have members who would like to establish their climate strategy, but we also have members who have great expertise at almost every level of the climate agenda. So the idea of having a needs assessment study is to identify where every member is in respect to climate issues, and what we can provide them as assistance from the climate facility, and what they can provide to other members and the club in respect to climate. So this is an interactive process. But the needs assessment study, but why I'm saying this more and more, is the key, our starting point, so that we can plan our further activities. And the finalization of the selection of the consultancy firm is done. After the tender and selection process, we have an institutionalized consultancy firm called Adelphi on board, who is providing services to us. There's one thing that I would like to share with you. As a final point, there's a major development that I would like to announce. The Green Climate Fund has approved our proposal on readiness and preparatory support program. We received their approval letter as 3rd of November this month. And as we prepared this presentation almost a month ago, you cannot see it here. But as a final achievement, what has been done so far, I would like to mention this. Facilitation of access to the Green Climate Fund has been one of our key priorities, as you would remember from our 4 pillars that I mentioned at the beginning. We are very happy that after 1 year of intensive work and communication with members and the GCF, we could secure $700,000 for strengthening the capacities of national and regional development banks, which are the members of the IDFC, to access GCF resources. And as a final word on that issue is, this is thanks to the governments of Brazil, Morocco, Panama, Peru, and South Africa, as they agreed to contribute their 2020 readiness funding to this proposal. And I can proudly show the letter we received on 3rd of November from GCF, as it's approved after 1 year of extensive work. And what are the next steps? Preparation of a 2 plus 2 years annual work program, as I mentioned earlier. Finalize our operating manual. This is for the moment what we are doing. Finalize needs assessment studies of all IDFC members. In the previous slides, that was one of the issues, or I probably forgot to mention it. We already did with 12 institutions right now. It was 10 at that time. Now it's 12. We completed our needs assessment studies, and we have 14 more to go. And we would like to finalize them in the near future. Our target is to finalize them until the end of the year. And design knowledge sharing and capacity building programs, which is the ultimate goal. Start off the training programs, coaching modules, etc. Define IDFC's climate toolbox, and then start development of tools for greenhouse gas accounting and climate risk assessment, because there are many issues in respect to climate, but as you would also agree, we internally agreed, and also while exchanging with colleagues, that greenhouse gas accounting and climate risk assessment should have priority compared to others because of their essential importance. Establish the online knowledge library is in our agenda. Support IDFC's green finance mapping activity, which is a traditional ongoing activity of green finance of the IDFC. We are supporting this because it's interrelated, and support MDB discussion on common principles for mitigation finance tracking. We are working with the commission established by MDBs in that respect, and things are moving forward quickly. And in the near future, you may hear that we'll be announcing common principles for mitigation finance tracking. And what is the content of the needs assessment visits and calls? Here, I would like to mention briefly what we are discussing during a needs assessment visit or call. There are no visits anymore, but we are still keeping it because we hope that pandemic will be over, and we'll be visiting also colleagues. During this calls right now, we are gathering general information about the institution and about the contact people, their financing priorities and instruments, their overall climate policy, strategy, and portfolio, climate change mitigation activities of the member institution, climate change adaptation activities, if they are undertaking any, what they are doing in respect to green finance mapping, which is the traditional activity of the club. Are they doing something in respect to Paris alignment, and what we can do for them in that respect? Knowledge sharing and needs assessment, which I explained before, what they can propose to other member institutions as an expertise, and what they would like to get from us, from climate facility. So as it's an interchanging activity, and their expectations and suggestions regarding the work of the IDFC climate facility and other issues. So that's overall how it looks like in a needs assessment call, which we finalize in general in 2 hours. Of course, we have a detailed questionnaire. We share this first with the members, and they prepare it. And then we have 2 hours of an exchange over the phone and finalize it. Strategic objectives of the IDFC climate facility. What are our objectives? As you can see, it's simple. Maybe I was confusing in my presentation, maybe because you heard many things. This is in a way a summary. Why there is an organization like Climate Facility established. It's for increasing the volumes of climate finance. Our first target is increase the volume of climate finance, then increase the quality of climate finance, and as third, increase collaboration between IDFC members, and fourth, contribute to long-term vision of IDFC, and seize upcoming financing opportunities and enhance innovation. So, in a nutshell, I hope I could share with you what we have been doing since 1 year and what we are planning to do in the upcoming 3 to 4 years period as the first pilot phase of the activities. And climate was chosen as a cross-cutting, as it's a cross-cutting issue with the member institutions. Of course, there are many other SDGs that member institutions are active. But climate was the topic that all members agreed upon. And we started to establish a climate facility because of that. And we hope that once we go further, because of the interrelation of climate with other SDG agendas, we can add other issues to the same structure of working once we establish climate facility in a proper way and bring it to a level where it can operate and function in a good way. Of course, it will be very easy to add other SDG topics through a facility, whether it will be this facility or another facility, doesn't matter, because we'll have the basis, the infrastructure for that. So I see we have something like 6 minutes left, a little bit more than that. And I would like to switch to Q&A. And I'm ready to receive your questions. There's a question saying, while the needs assessment is still ongoing, can you share any top-line highlights and learnings that have emerged so far? Thank you. It's a great question. As I little touched upon, we have members who wish to establish a climate strategy, but we also have members who are leading on climate-related issues. And so far, we have finalized 12 needs assessment calls, and we are very happy to see that regardless of the level of expertise, all institutions are interested in cooperation. First about knowledge sharing and then capacity building. And it's excellent to see that even the most as advanced institutions in terms of climate would like to cooperate with other members, with climate facility, and know that they have things to learn. The other question is, to approach to enhance climate resilience is interesting. Has any similar model emerged to support more socially minded or inclusive objectives? Do you see any possible synergies or areas for cross-learning? Absolutely, because at the end of the day, it's about sustainability, the sustainability of the planet. Coming backwards from there, countries, institutions, people. So whatever we do is interrelated, no doubt about it. Of course, the world is very complex and it's getting more and more complex. And we don't have the chance to wait and see, or we cannot take our time. Immediate action is needed. And we'll be also learning by doing, without any doubt. And in that respect, we know very well that we have to act quickly. Therefore, we have to finalize our need assessment studies. And simultaneously, we were gathering information and doing other activities as well, as I shared with you, GCF participation and the common principles tracking activities, etc. And once we finalized it, we would like to move forward quickly, as soon as possible. And the other question is, it's clear how the project aims to enhance the effectiveness of climate finance. Beyond this, do you work with or support efforts to overcome other non-financial barriers to achieving climate commitments? Of course, it's about the mindset first, before coming to finance. First of all, there must be the understanding of the importance of these issues. Everything starts with awareness and understanding about the issues. I can show this as the major barrier in front of us. Of course, with member institutions at IDFC, we are lucky, as everybody is in fond of the importance of climate activities. We don't need to explain people about that. But of course, our member institutions are national and regional development banks. And especially national development banks, compared to MDBs, have a great difference. National development banks are the muscles of their governments, and they are policy-making institutions at the same time. Therefore, sometimes the difficulty we are facing is that we cannot expect to have someone who can decide on things, because it's related with the country policy. Even if this institution says okay, they cannot move forward, because the country itself has to say okay as well. Therefore, in some issues, things are taking time. From understanding point of view, there is no problem. But because of the internal procedures, not only the procedures of the institutions, also in governments, the procedures must be elaborated, and it's taking time. That's a main non-financial barrier in our opinion. But we are used to work like that, because we are all public development banks at the end of the day. So thank you very much. As far as I see, those were the questions. I hope I was able to introduce you briefly what we were trying to do as climate facility. And in case of further questions, you can reach us through our website, which is under idfc.org, and we'll be all the time pleased to be in contact with you. Have a nice day.